So a power play for Rockford. They just want to kill the clock, and the Wolves need to hustle up ice with 13 seconds to go in this one. The Hail Mary of hockey. Guillaume Davien controlling. Out to center. Climby's gone to the bench. The door was open, and Smith went hard into that. Now we're going to fight. Someone reached over the bench. Guillaume Davien comes up swinging. And this one getting ugly. Rockford's already been involved in a bench clearing brawl once this season. As you see, helter-skelter taking place between these two teams.
I'll tell you what, Morin reached in after the hit. Davien laid out the hit, and the bench is opened up.
Vandermeer's on their bench. Now Climby has come over, and this one has definitely gotten out of hand.
Watch those sticks. Now, Morin was the one reaching in on Davien from the bench.
Lavin and Davien being separated. Vandermeer somehow has been broken up with Brookbank. And maybe good work there by assistant coach Ben Simon.
Ben Simon doing a heck of a job in there. Pulling his own guys off. The initial hit by Davien was a strong one. The gate obviously not closed. And the players went into the bottom of the gate, the floor of the benches. Okay, we're going to go all the way from the face-off. Davien here getting the puck out into the neutral zone. There's Smith. He goes in. Watch Morin. There's Morin with a right already from the bench. And look at Ben Simon grab Morin. And then everything starts after that.
Saw Ted Dent pulling Ben Smith out of that pile, too.
Yeah. But there's no doubt, I mean, the initial hit happened, and Smith is laying down, Davien on top, and Morin starts throwing lefts.
That's Devin Didiomidi, who's trying to challenge from the Wolves bench, and he will head off the ice.
So Rampage cutting back in a shot. Oh, and a big hit along the end boards, and that's going to... Robbie Risso is going after.
Oh, now Pumple's coming in. We got a melee.
Vogelhuber just absolutely hammered his man against the end boards. Ooh, I didn't see who it was, Larry, but boy, that was a reckless play by Trent Vogelhuber.
By Tenorti, it'll end up far side wall. Now Toronto has a chance to move up ice with it. Ross is run into by LeBlanc. He's crumpled, and now that draws everybody, including the Marlies, who have made a line change to stick up for Brad Ross, who's at the bottom of the pile. And
Ross
someone's throwing
trying
punches.
to get at Louis LeBlanc.
Ross is throwing a couple of punches. It was a big log pile, everybody on top of each other. It's broken up, and Ross, still on the bottom, has decided to throw a few while the rest of the players get separated.
In his own zone from the end boards, cutting out and beating Abramov on the near side of center, hitting the back by Straight. Cyphers pushes down Straight, then he spears Abramov, and that's going to set things off here. Straight got a penalty for sure. I don't believe it. Now going after players on the Monsters bench is Cormier, and this is getting absolutely ridiculous. And Yavenko just landed a straight right between the eyes on Cormier, and frankly, the Moose captain knows better, deserves it. Now has thrown a glove at Yavenko, now grabs Dean Kukin, and it's circus-like in here, and now pulled over into the Manitoba bench. It's a complete melee. Kramer is pounding into Maleta from the bench. Players need to get tossed out of this game with match penalties. This is a complete nightmare. And Manitoba is to blame, not just for part of this, but for every moment of it. Patrice Cormier's been around a long time at the NHL level, in the American Hockey League, lots of places, and he's trying to fight guys on the Monsters bench. And all he's upset about is Brian Straight cross-checking Abramov in the back, Cyphers responding, then Straight spearing Abramov, and then trying to pull Monsters players into the Manitoba bench so that multiple Moose players can essentially assault them. Players that aren't even on the ice. We've got it on tape. I mean, Kramer's down the tunnel, and his season is over, and he deserves that early end. Cormier's night maybe career, before long will be over. Just a joke. And if Cleveland gets one penalty out of this whole deal, it'll be unjustified. Jordan Maleta is getting punched in the back of the head by Kramer, who's not only being held back by a linesman, but is on the bench.
And McCaig gets it ahead for Kadri. He is upended. And no penalty. Oh, and a hit that was by Fraser. And here we go. Lashoff and Fraser, and now everybody else is into it. And Kadri's throwing some punches as well.
Kadri's going to get kicked out doing that.
The knee came out. There was no penalty on the hit on Kadri. And then Mark Fraser came flying in and he leveled Evans with the hit. And now Evans and Fraser are finishing the job here. And they're liable to both end up going into the Marley bench. It was Lashoff who started things with the hit on Nazem Kadri. But we're going to look at this again.
Well, Lashoff started all this. He ends up without a penalty as he gets Kadri here with a trip. Not a knee, but close. And then here comes Fraser, and he absolutely levels Lashoff. Watch this. There's the initial trip, and here comes Fraser. Boom! And then right afterwards, Brendan Evans, and he gets into it with Fraser, and then Kadri gets in the middle of it.
Bain back down low again it goes. This time it's battled loose by Hamilton. He sends Condor down to the ice. Body starting to fly. And you got Sautner that jumps in. Tamela jumps in. Archibald looks to patrol. He'll grab Joseph. And those two start to go. Archibald throwing Joseph around. Archibald starts swinging. Joseph gets a few. Archibald wants to pull him off and continue the fight. And he will. Archibald with some lefts just going to town. Tamela skates by Archibald. Gives him a few words. Joseph came in on Archibald. And he kept pushing back, and Archibald gave him a fistful several different times. 16.8 seconds left to go in the third. And listen to the Adirondack Bank Center come back alive again.
Played on the far side boards and getting crunched along the wall. It was the forward Drazenovich, and now he gets jumped by Redko. Gudis going after Drazenovich, and that'll draw the ire of the players. They all congregate and come together outside the crunch bench, and things have erupted here in Springfield. Sticks and gloves and helmets all over the ice. Everyone trying to pair off.
Played back into the corner where Esposito goes after it. Penalty coming up to Manitoba. Now we got LaFon and Dan Renouf have dropped the gloves, and Renouf threw a big right hand, missed him. Now throws another right. The two of them loading up with rights. Nobody's managed to land one, and now Renouf pops him and wrestles him to the ice.
Second one, it looked like Danny landed. Oh, he gets up and he's just yelling to the bench, let's go, boys, and listen to this place now.
By McIntyre. Bruins trying to come back the other direction with it. Now through the neutral zone on the right side is Hickman. Justin along the wall has his pass intercepted. Big hard hit on the franchise, blindsided, and that will break a fight out on the near side. Ronaldo, not surprisingly, part of it, as all four officials are over, as is the Sound Tigers trainer, who runs in from the bench. The franchise back up onto one knee, chatting with the trainer as the players try to duke it out with the officials not far behind. Hickman giving a few shoves after taking some. And Karkner pinned up against the board. Sexton is being shoved by Holmstrom. The helmet has come off for Ronaldo. And Hickman being separated from the pile. The franchise slowly skating back on his own power toward the bench. They'll open the dressing room door for him just in case. He has both skates on the ice gliding as he's being pulled by the trainer. 8:40 remains in the second period.